So let's go. I'm playing against an IM from an FM from Yemen, and we are off. Think I had this position in an earlier banter blitz with both white and black. So, in general, not the most critical way of playing against the Fitz, but I guess that the little extra central control still counts for something. So bishop e3, I suppose. If ED, I'm going to take with the bishop, since knight d4, knight c5 looks a little bit awkward. So in case of now knight c5, I have e5 or even bishop c5 with a very nice position. And this one looks like it's just begging to be driven away with f4. If knight c6, I have a nice square for the bishop on f2, and I'll try to continue with g4 and then either bishop h4 or knight g3, something along those lines, and claiming that my space advantage means something. Yeah, h5 is a sensible response. I think I should probably go knight d4 now, since g4 is not on the table anymore. Should try and find another route for my pieces. I'm not loving it though, since he has bishop d7 to c6 later on. And he probably should have gone bishop d7 immediately, because this I don't especially like for him. I think his his pieces are a bit awkwardly placed. Question is, can I exploit it? I can go queen to d4. Probably should play queen f6. Then I retreat, intending knight d5, but maybe there's not much there. Okay, I'm going to try it anyway, see if I can misplace some of his pieces. Then the idea is to try and induce knight b6 to prevent knight d5. Then I would go b3 and claim that his knight is misplaced, and that he still struggles to find good squares for the pieces. Yeah, it does have this though. Quite tempted to go e5, but I cannot really see the follow-up, so I'm just gonna go rook to e1 instead. Now with bishop c6, I'm thinking maybe e5 is an option. I feel like I'm already thinking way too much in terms of forced moves here. But I'm not sure my position is really that promising if I just do nothing. Okay. Yeah, thinking about queen to e7, then bishop c6, maybe has queen c5. I can then play queen f2 to force a slightly better ending, but in general I have bigger goals than that. Maybe queen e3 is more precise. Choices. I'm thinking queen f2, then he takes rook f2, b6, rook f6 would be nice. Lines like rook e5, rook g6 are probably good for me, but he had knight d7, rook c6, knight e5, and there's a really nasty fork on somewhere. But one thing's for sure, that I cannot keep spending so much time. It's just, yeah, it's too much. So I'm gonna try to force matters. Now with rook e8, I'm banking on knight e2, threatening knight e4, and knight f4. But I'm not convinced by my own play at all. Yeah, this one I don't think is very good though. It's just walking into everything. Still king h7 maybe, queen h6, king g8, fighting. Yeah, finds the best moves. Do I have anything else? Probably not. Rook e2, does that work? No, I don't think so. So I have to rely on my technique instead. c4 is done. He doesn't want to go to d5, he wants to go to e5, which he realizes, of course. I have to say he's not playing badly. Well, that was a bad move though. With it's a general rule of thumb that with two rooks against rook and a bishop and a rook, or a rook and a knight, you should almost never exchange rooks with the weaker side, because then the remaining minor piece will usually be pretty helpless against the rook. And I don't think this case is any different, because now it's completely hopeless. Yeah, it was a pity. Okay.